Have you ever heard someone say that John's Gospel, especially John 1, comes from Greek philosophy, like the ideas of Heraclitus? It sounds convincing at first. The word logos is Greek after all. But here's the problem that explanation skips over the deeply Jewish world John was actually writing in. Let's walk through a better, more grounded way to understand it. In the beginning was the Word. That's how John starts his Gospel. Not with philosophy, not with abstract ideas, but with a deliberate echo of Genesis. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. John is doing something intentional here. He's taking his readers back to creation, not to Greek thought. In the Hebrew scriptures, God's word isn't just information, it's power. When God speaks, things happen. Let there be light, and there was light. Creation itself unfolds through speech. Psalm 33 says, "By the word of the Lord the heavens were made." And in Isaiah 55, God says his word goes out and accomplishes what he intends. In other words, in Jewish thought, the word is not abstract, it's God in action. Now consider another thread in Jewish theology wisdom. In the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, wisdom speaks like a person. I was there when God laid the foundations of the earth. Wisdom is presented at creation, active alongside God, described almost like a partner in creation. And later Jewish writings develop this even further. Wisdom becomes a way of talking about how God interacts with the world. Sound familiar? John is stepping into that same stream. Here's something many people miss. In ancient Aramaic translations of the Bible called Targum, something fascinating happens. Instead of saying God did this, the text often says the word of the Lord did this. This word called memra acts almost like a bridge between God and the world. The word creates, the word reveals, the word interacts with people. This isn't Greek this isn't Greek philosophy. It's Jewish theology trying to express how a transcendent God engages with creation. Yes, the word logos is Greek, and philosophers like Heraclitus use it. But for Heraclitus, logos means something very different an impersonal force, a principal order in the universe, more like reason than a person. Now compare that to John. The Word is with God. The Word is God. The Word becomes flesh. That's not Greek philosophy. That's something far more personal and far more Jewish in its roots. So why use a Greek term at all? Because John is writing in a Greek speaking world. He's doing what good communicators do, using a familiar word but filling it with biblical meaning. Think of it like this. John isn't borrowing Greek philosophy. He's redefining a Greek word using Jewish theology. And in doing so, he's following a pattern we already see in the Torah. In Genesis chapters 1 through 11, Moses engages the world of ancient Near Eastern ideas and subverts them, using similar imagery and concept, but reshaping them to proclaim that it was not the gods of the nations who created everything, but the Lord alone, and that his character, purposes, and relationship to humanity are completely unlike the violent, self-serving deities of surrounding myths. In the same way, John takes a familiar term from his cultural world and fills it with the truth about Israel's God. When you put it all together, John's word comes from the creation account in Genesis, the power of God's spoken word in the Psalms and prophets, the personified wisdom tradition, the memra concept in Jewish interpretation. This is a Jewish idea through and through. So when you hear someone say, John got the logos from Greek philosophy, a better answer is, John is revealing something rooted in the Hebrew scriptures, that God's word, his creative and revealing power, has now stepped into history as a person. And that person is Yeshua, Jesus. If you want to go deeper, start by reading John 1 alongside Genesis 1 and Proverbs 8. You'll start to see the connections everywhere. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. For more, please check out our podcast, the Firm Foundations Podcast, where we bring you weekly, chapter by chapter, verse by verse Bible studies from Genesis to Revelation. We've recently concluded Genesis and we have moved into Exodus. I hope you'll be blessed. I trust that you will, and you'll have your spiritual lives enriched, even through two guys like us. Take care.